parents, guardians, students. We're going to go over a couple quick lessons, a couple quick strategies with multiplication and division. Now, parents, guardians, these are ways that students have to learn. It's not our way of doing it if you haven't done this type of multiplication before, but it's something that they have to learn. You'll find it interesting as I did when I learned it coming up in education. But the spark will go off and you'll get it. But I hope you can share this, and students, if you're watching, watch the video, keep watching it, watch it again, even my annoying voice, and you'll pick it up. Thanks. Enjoy. So what we're going to work on is a multiplication problem. Sadly, this is a strategy students are going to have to do. I know there's a standard algorithm, we call it, which is two numbers over two numbers. So we have 27 times 24, and then we multiply. We've all done that. That's called standard algorithm. So parents, if you're helping your students, or students if you're doing it, you guys are going to worry about this later. This isn't quite our issue right now. What we are going to talk about is, and it goes by many names, but let's just worry about the strategy right now. So if I have 25 times 32, what I do, create a box, and I break these numbers down. This is 25, so that's 20 plus 5. Then I have 32, which is 30 plus 2. So we have 25, 20 plus 5, and 32, which is 30 plus 2. What I do is I multiply this number times this number and put it here. So I'll say, easy way of doing this is 3 times 2, which is 6. And how many zeros they share? They share 2 zeros. Then I have 5, or 3 times 5, 5 times 3, doesn't matter. That gives me 15. They share 1 zero. Then I have 2 times 4, 2 times 2, which is 4, and 0. They share 1 zero. 2 times 5, which is 10. So those are my boxes. That's the multiplication of the different values. So now all we have to do is add those up. So we're going to go over here and go 600 plus 150 plus 40 plus 10. Just got to make sure this is a problem, students, you guys are having, girls, parents, this is the problem they're having, lining them up correctly, place value. So if they get the multiplication, they get all that, they have to add them together. Make sure they line them up correctly, because if you put the 10 under the hundreds, it's going to give you a different value. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 plus 5 plus 4 plus 1, that's 9, 10. I carry the 1. 1 plus 6 is 7, plus another 1 is 8. So 800 is my answer for this multiplication problem. Just going to go over those steps real quick again. So we have 25 times 32. I break down each of these numbers. 20 plus 5, 25. On the side here I go 30 plus 2, which is 32. Multiply this number, the 10's values. 3 times 2, 2 times 3, 6. They share 2 zeros. 3 times 5 or 5 times 3, 15. They share 1 zero. Then I do this value, the 1's. I have 2 times 2, which is 4. They share 1 zero. 2 times 5, which is 10. Those are my values I'm going to add up. I add them up. That gives me my answer. That'll give me my final answer. Thank you. Alright, so we're going to use the same strategy, but a bigger number. Same strategy. So let's say 3,251 times 3. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 place values. So I have 3,000. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. And I only have 1 this time. So I only put a 1 here. Or 1 in the ones. I know it's a 3. It's in the ones. Here I have 3,000 plus 200 plus 50 plus 1. Same thing I did before. 3 times 3 is 9. I share 3 zeros. 3 times 2 is 6. I share 2 zeros between those two numbers. 3 times 5, 15, and 1 zero. 3 times 1 is 3. So then, I'm going to push this up a little bit. I have 9,000. Line them up correctly. Make sure you guys line them up. Make sure your kids line them up correctly. 600, 150, and 3. So I have, adding these up, get up there a little bit more. I have 3, 0, 0, 5, 0, 6 plus 1 is 7, and 9 plus nothing is 9. So my final answer would be 9,753 if I multiplied those together. That's just another way of doing the same strategy with a different value. Thank you. So right now we're going to talk about division. I know we have the way of doing division, the standard way of doing it. So if I have 325 divided by 5, we would do it with the Radican and 5 and 325. Okay? We're going to do a little bit different. This is called partial quotient. Quotient is the answer to a division problem. Quotient. Okay? Partial means it's part of that answer. So it's a part of an answer of a division problem. So I want to use friendly numbers. What times 5 will give me to 325? I use, let's say, 5 times 10. That's 50. So I take that 50 out of here, because I've already used it. I've taken part of it out. 5, subtract, borrow, regroup, 7, 2. So I know let's go a little bit bigger. I know that is just 50, so let's use a bigger number. Let's say 20 times 5. Well, that would give me 0, 10, 100. Okay, take that 100 out of there, because now I use another part of that quotient, that answer. Gives me 175. Let's do it again. But we have to write it again, because we're going to do it again. We can't just use the same answer again. So we have to say 20 times 5 gives me 100. 75. So I know at 50 and 75, I need to get to 75. That's too little, that's too much. Let's try 15. So 15 times 5 gives me 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 75. Oh, exactly. So 15. And 15, do it again. Take away that 75, gives me 0. I want to stop when I hit 0. That's a 0 down there. Sorry about that. Okay. All I'm now going to do is add up the numbers that I used, the partial answers to the problem. Partial quotient. Partial quotient is the partial answer to a division problem. So I have a 10 I used, a 10, excuse me, a 20, a 10, a 20, a 20, and a 15. And then I add those up. 10, 20, 20, 15. 0, 0, 0 plus 5 is 5. 1, 3 plus 2. So it's 4, 5, 6. So my answer would be 65 for this problem. That's called partial quotient. Let's go over that quickly again. Do another problem here a little bit. So I have 5, I want to get to 325. Using big numbers. You know, I could have used 20 originally and give me 100. I could have done that. Doesn't matter. When I add them up, it's going to be the same. Could have used the 20 already. So, let's go back what I had. 10 times 5 is 50. I take that out. That's part of the answer. That gives me 275. I do it again with a larger number, 20. That gave me 100. I take that out. Subtracting that gave me 175. I still know I got to do it again because I'm not at a 0. I haven't reached 0 yet. Okay. Do it again. I have to write it again because I'm doing it again. That's still part of the answer. That's part of it. That's part of it. So don't just use it once. Okay, you got to use it twice. That gives me another 100. Subtract 75. I know this was too little. This was too big. So somewhere in between. I used 15. That gave me 0. I stop. I can't do anymore. I add up what I used. What I multiplied times 5. What numbers did I use to multiply times 5? I used a 10, I used 120, I used 2 20s, and I used a 15. I come here, got to show that sign. Made that mistake, sorry. Got to show the addition. Gives me 65. And that's partial quotient. Thank you very much. So, I hope you learned something, or students, I hope you remembered something and click that in to your brain so it'll just register a little bit more. Keep watching the videos. I'll post more, but I hope that helps you understand a little bit. Share it with your parents. They'll be able to help you, guardians, grandparents, and we'll get through this. You guys can do it. I have faith. Thanks.